Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The loss of life that we've learned about this morning in Essex, 39 people that have been taken from this earth, should distress us all. And the fact that this should happen in the United Kingdom, we need to dwell on. That people put themselves in such situation in the search of a better life. And we must not just brush this off as an incident. We have to learn the lessons as to why this has happened. Our thoughts and prayers must be with everyone, and those from the emergency services that have had to avail themselves of this most shocking sight this morning. We must not just have warm words today, and that's the end of it. As a humanity, we must learn from this terrible, terrible tragedy. Mr. Speaker, within the last hour, the First Ministers of Scotland and Wales joined forces to oppose the Tory government's damaging Brexit bill. A bill that risks jobs, opportunities and our entire economic future. Mr. Speaker, Scotland did not vote for this toxic Tory Brexit or any Brexit. It voted overwhelmingly to remain. Will the Prime Minister stop ignoring Scotland and confirm today that he will not allow this legislation to pass unless consent is given by the Scottish Parliament? Yes or no, Prime Minister?
Mr. Speaker, I note very carefully what the Right Honourable Gentleman had to say, but as he knows, the Scottish Parliament has no role in approving this deal. On the contrary, it is up to the people of this, up to the members of this Parliament to approve the deal. I'm delighted to say that they did. It didn't proceed, I think, with the support of many Scottish nationalist MPs, or any of them. But if he really still disagrees with this deal and he disagrees about the way forward, then can I propose to him that he has a word with other opposition parties and he joins our support for a general election to settle the matter.
Ian Blackford.
Well, there we have it, Mr. Speaker. The legislative consent that the Scottish Parliament is asked is meaningless in the Prime Minister's eyes. So much for the Respect agenda, so much for the message in 2014 that we were to lead the United Kingdom, that this was a union of equals, torn asunder by the disrespect of this Prime Minister. Mr. Speaker, well, they don't like the truth, but the people of Scotland have heard it from the Prime Minister today. Our Parliament doesn't matter. That's what this Prime Minister thinks of our government in Scotland. Mr. Speaker, last night the Prime Minister was yet again defeated by this House. The Prime Minister said he would pull his bill. He hasn't. He wants Scotland to trust him. But how can we? Fired twice for lying. Found unlawful by the courts. The Prime Minister has sold Scotland out time and time again. Parliament, Scotland, cannot trust this Prime Minister. If the Prime Minister so desperately wants an election, Europe is willing and waiting. What's stopping him? He must now secure a meaningful extension and bring on a general election. Let the Scottish people decide our future in Scotland.
Well, Mr. Speaker, what an exciting development. Perhaps he might pass some of his courage down the line. But on the point that he raises, Mr. Speaker, about our commitment to the Union, he should know that thanks to Scotland's membership of the Union, Scotland this year receives the biggest ever block grant, 1.2 billion, 200 million more secured for Scottish farming, thanks to the hard work of Scottish Conservative MPs, Mr. Speaker. And who is letting down Scotland? It is the SNP with their lackadaisical government, the highest taxes anywhere in the UK, declining educational standards, inadequate healthcare, and a European policy, a policy that would take the Scotland back into the EU and hand back control of Scotland's fish to Brussels. If that's their manifesto, Mr. Speaker, then I look forward to contesting it with them at the polls.